friends. So let's give you some background. My story. Why do you do what you do? Going through school, well actually let's go back a little bit further. I guess like many kids from the 80s, 90s, we didn't have much in the way of computer games, so when you got bored, you went outside, you did stuff, or your parents were like that, you're annoying me, get outside. So always pretty active, always pretty, did a lot of movement. My dad, from a young age, kind of encouraged me to do little exercises like wall sits and like chest expansion, breathing things. That experience, that little bit of moulding. I went through school life thinking I wanted to be a PT. I was like, I want to be a PT. And careers advice always run flat for me, because you sit down with some adult who obviously knew their stuff because they were advising you on careers, and you'd say, I want a PT. I want to train people one-to-one. And the response was, that's fantastic. Police or the army? No, neither. Because I know for a fact I'm not going to respond well to orders. I was always that kid that was a bit more why, and my parents taught me about just being polite and please and thank you being the operative word, right? So this idea of going to a sort of military style, you've got to do this, there's no please, there's no thank yous, and the reason you're doing it is because I'm telling you to do it. No, not for me. The work experience that my school arranged for me was in a sports shop, retail. Yeah, okay, definitely don't want to do that. I don't know why I even tried doing A-levels, went into A-levels of all things. And I think I got halfway through A-levels kind of going, I don't know why I'm here. I don't know why I'm here still at school when I don't really know what I want to do for a living, even though I did. Bugger this, I'm leaving. And got a job. Had a few jobs. My dad sorted me out in his industry, which he worked in sort of lighting, TVs, theatre, theatrical stuff. I worked in warehouse, logistics, manufacturing, sales, all in and around the TV lighting industry. And it was all right. It was a job, getting money in my pocket. I was driving out of London and there was this glamorous advert on the radio, be a PT, change your life, change other people's lives. It's amazing. And I thought, driving out of London after a day of working quite hard, not really getting much thanks for it. This was a warehouse job. Oftentimes, the people who wore suits treated you with a little disrespect. Not great. So driving out of London, thinking, that sounds like something I want to do. Speak to my parents about it. And it's like, if I don't have a go, then I'm going to end up being like the guys I'm working with, who are much older than me, married, with kids. Their wife phones in and you can see them kind of going, oh, now what? But if that's what it's going to be like, okay, fine. But I want to have a go at this first. Luckily enough, I was still living at home, so they were able to kind of support me through that. That kind of put my foot in the door of the world of health and fitness. The original course I did was a 12-week course, only 12 weeks full-time, but 12 weeks, diploma in fitness testing and sports therapy. Wasn't interested in the sports therapy bit or the massage bit. Nah, didn't want to touch people. But that opened the door. And it was like, cool, let's go get a job. So first job was in a council gym in a not such a salubrious part of town. Often reception would phone down to let you know a certain character was coming in. They might have a knife. Just watch out. Brilliant. Didn't last there very long. I went from there to hotel chain as a PT. And just PT. To begin with, I just did PT. Very occasionally did the odd massage here and there. Wasn't really interested. Didn't really get into the massage stuff and the hands-on stuff until sort of a few years later, as I started to move away from kind of conventional PT work and moved into more sort of holistic training. You start to appreciate that you're not just working with someone's physical body. You're working with someone. You're working with a person who has emotions and feelings. You're putting potentially a lot of pressure on them to hit some strange aesthetic goal to make them feel better, but it's actually not about how they look, it's about how they feel internally. And I've put too many women on scales to then have them cry. So my kind of training and knowledge kind of moved into a more holistic approach, then the massage made a lot more sense to actually start working on people who had these tight muscles that you're trying to stretch all the time. But actually, if you kind of talk to someone, if you go hands-on, if you treat them from a different angle, sometimes you get a much quicker response. Yeah, and that's kind of like, that's a bit of background. That's a bit of background. I've done this now since 1999. There you go. Do the math. Yeah, there's a bit of background. Cool. Have a great day. Laters, taters.